Everybody, Goddess of Radical Self-Love for Mecca, make everyone count always. We are a support network for radical self-love and for self-care with focused attention on our caregivers and care receivers. When our community's most vulnerable care receivers and those who care for them, caregivers, feel supported and valued, we all can rest assured we are supported and valued as well. So today is our Transcendence Thursday, self-transcendence, right? Thank you all for joining us, new guests. Thank you so much. To subscribe, just hit the subscribe button and the red bell for up-to-date videos. And those of you who have been here for the long haul, our family, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all your likes, your thumbs up, your comments, which are greatly appreciated, and all your shares so we can reach as many individuals who need radical self-love and self-care in their lives, especially our caregivers and care receivers, because we want them to know how much we all love them, right? So today with self-transcendence, I have been working on our Mecca Maslow grid a lot more. So I just added some resources that will be easy for you guys all to look at on your charts when you're filling them out. So to find the Mecca Maslow manifestation map or care plan, just go to our Patreon / Goddess of Radical Self-Love. In the meantime, yes, and I also do videos on there as well of my own chart. So basically, we are going through each level of the grid and each grid segment and grading ourselves so that we can get the ones off the grid that we've completed. So, for instance, physiological needs. There's food, hydration, habitat, homeostasis, excretion, sexual identity, sexual gender. We get those off, like we rate them, see if we need help 1 through 5. You get either a red, yellow, or a green. So it's kind of like Tetris. They drop off when you're at green. So other ones can fall down into their place from safety and security. You don't have to go, you don't have to have all of them checked off completely. They don't have to be all green in order to move up the grid. So we're all a work in progress. So that's just normal. But we can do it a lot quicker and with a lot more fun, right? And be able to also use our chakras, right? Our chakras and our other resources like crystals and essential oils and all of these self-care techniques to manifest our desires in each of those grid segments and be able to go through the whole Mecca Maslow manifestation map quicker and with much more vigor and enjoyment. Yes, this is the plan. So today I am going to actually read from Toward a Psychology of Being from, well, my boyfriend, Abraham Maslow. Well, I do have a very fond affinity for him. So obviously he helped create Mecca's Maslow grid. So today we'll start though with the card that I pulled before. Angel of Wisdom was our card today. Isn't that awesome since we're reading from my boyfriend? Yes. Angel of Wisdom. Sorry. Yeah, I am starting to feel better. My nose is still a little clogged. But besides that, I'm good. Angel of wisdom, you are a wise soul who has traveled many journeys, gathering your life knowledge. Yes. Let me show you all, since it is very beautiful. I don't want to be the only one who gets to see. Yes. I want to swing like that in my backyard. Do you see the angel swing? It's so gorgeous. Yeah. So you have received this card because your angel of wisdom is by your side, helping you to reconnect with the wisdom of source energy. You are a wise soul who needs to reconnect with your angel of wisdom so that you can fulfill your life's purpose. Dear one, do you worry that the answers you seek are not always forthcoming? Do you worry that you don't have the knowledge and wisdom you need to fulfill your life's purpose? Do people constantly seek out your advice? If the answer is yes to any of these, you receive this card as a gentle reminder that you are not alone. Your angel of wisdom wants you to take time out for yourself and ground your soul. Find a beautiful, quiet place in nature or sit silently in your sacred place within your home. It doesn't really matter where you choose. The most important thing for you to do is to reconnect. Is there some creative journaling you have yearned to do with your angels and guides? Maybe what you need most is to contemplate what you need the answer to. When you relax, your angel of wisdom will provide the answers and guidance that you have been seeking. Make sure that you have a spiritual journal in case she wants to channel her wisdom through you via automatic writing. She may share words, visions, symbols, or music that provide you with the answers you seek. Don't be afraid to ask for guidance, as this is what she is here for. Why not ask her if there are any books, courses, meditations, or websites that she recommends to provide you with further knowledge? Your angel of wisdom wants you to connect with other like-minded souls so that you can share the wisdom with others. Believe in your own inner knowledge, wisdom, and power. You are a wise being of the universe. And the affirmation for today is, I have a wealth of hidden knowledge and wisdom within me. I have all I need to make the right decisions in my life. My angel of wisdom guides me. I love it. I do. If I do, say so myself. Yeah. So, as you all know that have been with me for a while, self-transcendence, transcending the self to give to others, right? Our oneness, crown chakra. And in to achieve self-transcendence, we go through the grid. The Maslow manifestation map is $1 on the Patreon. And I created it, I shouldn't say they created it. They created it with Maslow. I am a conduit, yes, of the grid. So we are going to learn a little bit about towards a psychology of health so you all can understand further the grid and what it entails. Okay? There is now emerging over the horizon a new conception of human sickness and human health, a psychology that I find so thrilling and so full of wonderful possibilities that I yield to the temptation to present it publicly even before it is checked and confirmed, and before it can be called reliable scientific knowledge. The basic assumptions of this point of view are: 1. You may want to write these down. We have, each of us, an essential biologically based inner nature which is to some degree natural, intrinsic, given, and, in a certain limited sense, unchangeable, or at least unchanging. Sorry. 2. Each person's inner nature is in part unique to himself and in part species-wide. Remember, when I say himself, it also means herself. Nobody needs to get upset. 3. It is possible to study this inner nature scientifically and to discover what it is like, not invent or discover. Sorry, not invent / discover. So we're not inventing this inner nature site, right? It's already there. We're just discovering it. So we're peeling back the layers, really. And that's what the grid helps you do. To peel back the layers, to find what it is that truly drives and motivates you once we're past those, like, physiological needs. And up. 4. The inner nature, as much as we know of it so far, seems not to be intrinsically evil, but rather either neutral or positively good. What we call evil behavior appears most often to be a secondary reaction to frustration of this intrinsic nature. And as some of you who have read the memoir, The Snake That Never Sheds, or listened to it, I would think that you would understand how before I found the goddess of radical self-love, right? Before I found my true inner love for myself, it was pretty hard for me to accept a statement like that. Right? And we haven't even gotten to the rest of the books yet. So, so intrinsically, we're all good or negative. We're not intrinsically evil. There's no such thing. That's basically a human verbiage. Sorry, I'm still sick. Just a little though. Since this inner nature is good or neutral rather than bad, number 5, sorry, it is best to bring it out and encourage it rather than to suppress it. If it is permitted to guide our life, we grow healthy, fruitful, and happy, right? So this is where following your dreams, goals, passions, and desires come in. Because your inner nature, right? Those are your dreams, passions, goals, and desires. So if we can let them guide our life, like Mecca does for mine, then we'll grow healthy and bear healthy fruit and also become fruitful, right? And happy. 6. If this essential core of a person is denied or suppressed, he gets sick, sometimes in obvious ways, sometimes in subtle ways, sometimes immediately, and sometimes later. And I'm sure that you all have seen or heard of somebody who, gave up on their dreams and, isn't the happiest person to be around. And, well, we can always use me as an example because that's what I'm here for. Before Mecca, well, even before I went back to school for the second time for psychology, I really did have to fight for it. I was not happy. I was not happy just being a mom, a house mom, and, just not saying just a caregiver, but I wanted more. And every time I went on that expedition, it drove me and I was happy. But then it ends and there's another expedition. So it doesn't end with one, especially if you're used to setting goals and achieving goals. And like the sooner we can like kind of get into that habit, the better. It's an easier way to master manifest what you want in your life. And then obviously working with your guides and the universe so that it works with you to bring you what you want, but just quieting your mind so that you can hear the directions to go works. That's what I did anyway. 7. This inner nature is not strong and overpowering and unmistakable like the instincts of animals. It is weak and delicate and subtle and easily overcome by habit, cultural pressure, and wrong attitudes towards it. Eight, even though weak, it rarely disappears in the normal person, perhaps not even in the sick person. Even though denied, it persists underground forever, pressing for actualization. It's like a little flower that wants to bloom, and it's just sitting there at you all the time. I want to come out. Let me be a flower. Let me bloom, right? So it's like a little seed that just wants to come out. And it can be over and over and over. So, but if you allow it to happen once, right? It kind of gets addicting. And you're like, what else is in there? I want a whole bouquet. 9. Somehow, these conclusions must all be articulated with the necessity of discipline, deprivation, frustration, pain, and tragedy. To the extent that these experiences reveal and foster and fulfill our inner nature, to that extent they are desirable experiences. So, with Mecca, as most of you know, it was a fight. It's still a fight, right? I mean, I don't really fight anymore. But I just, like, let the universe bring everything to me because it's just like, we're working together. I'm a master manifester. That's what happens. So it's so awesome. But like in the beginning, I had to fight really hard. I mean, so hard. I had to leave my entire life. I had to leave my past relationship of 12 years. That's how real it was. I had to leave my beautiful home and everything I knew in a weird sense, right? But I would do it all over again, over and over and over, because I feel like the bigger purpose, it's not about me, okay? So I don't know if I could have fully done it if it was about me. The bigger purpose actually helped me find me. So having this outside purpose that was to help so many, right? Our caregivers and care receivers, and the resources, because we can make the resources better. I know how. We don't want to like just shut down the resources, but they, need to listen and want to be better. We don't need a million resources when 99% of them suck. I'm so sorry, you guys. But we don't want to shut them all down either. That's like our economy, and we all need to work together. So, so we want to help them too. It's just the bigger purpose that was driving me was outside myself. I know it looked and appeared like to some that it was about me because I was driving the bus, but it was really about all the people getting on. Like, hey, let's go here because there's a big, better plan here that's going to help all of you, So that's what drove me. And obviously trust and belief from the guides, because, it was scary. It was scary choosing to do the right thing. At times. Because I had to give up so much. People I love. A life in some ways, many ways I loved. Even if it wasn't a full representation of me. But when it included all these other people, then I had to finally choose me. So actual self-transcendence can work in the opposite direction now, I found, but I do think it was only because, I had gone through a lot of those physiological needs. Like, I had everything I needed. I wasn't going without, right? Safety and security. I was safe and secure in my being. I had a job. I was educated, the community, I had a family. I had support, somewhat. I'm always the caregiver, so I do the supporting, but I know I've got love back in return. So, so those levels, the community level, obviously I had a community. I know my education helped a lot with all of this because it gave me that higher self-esteem. So that's really what I'm trying to help people find, is the higher self-esteem, right? Where it's like you don't need that's what the goddess of radical self-love is, the higher self-esteem. So I shouldn't really say that the self-transcendence helped, or self-actualization helped find the goddess of radical self-love. I guess she was in there. She was just blooming, and she was the seed, and then she slowly began to bloom without me even knowing. And so finally, when I could finally get to the point where I was the conduit for Mecca, I could believe, and I could believe in myself to be able to make the right choices and the right decisions. Obviously not only for myself, but others, because that's all this is about, is having the right, there is the right education, and there obviously was the right history. So, I had to understand from a different point of view what everybody was going through, not just have an education from school, right? 22 years experience with my daughter, raising a daughter with extreme disabilities, chronic illness, and whatnot. And then, so that those things helped, but in order to get all the way up, you know, like there's like just all these different, it, for me, I feel like we all have a connection to the divine all the time. Like we're all working through and with the divine. You just don't maybe listen the way I do. You know, I've had a lot of time to be able to listen. I was at home taking care of my daughter who was extremely sick. So my position now is one that has to hold like extreme high moral and ethical values for others. Like it's not just about the knowledge, it's about doing the right thing always, you know, for everyone. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good definition of self-transcendence. I think when you're to the point where you'll walk away from your life to make other people's lives better, then you're there. And if that's something you're interested in, then I can help you. And if you're just interested in self-actualization, I can help you with that too. So, yes, that's what we do here at Becca. So anyway, I didn't mean to sit here and cry. I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, it's just me. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do my meditation when I come back because I was supposed to go to the gym, but I'm still sick, obviously. So that's not going to happen. And then I'm just doing our meditations separately now, just in case like people don't want to listen to this or want to split them up or whatever. So you guys can have a choice. I always like choices. Yes. So I love you all so much. I'm so thankful for all our master manifestors out there, and so thankful for being able to be a teacher and a student at the same time each and every day and sharing my experiences with you guys so you can find radical self-love. Yes, and cry like me every day. I'm just kidding. They're tears of joy. You all know it. All right. Ta-ta!